What's up, y'all? This is John B, aka Smooth Hot Chocolate here. It's time for another Goosebump read, and that book would be from the 2000 series, Ghosts in the Mirror. And oddly enough, it's the very last one in the 2000 series, too. Chapter 1. You lose! The deafening cry made me jump into the air. My heart pounded against my chest. I spun around to find my sister, Claudia, laughing. Her dark eyes flashed behind her red-framed glasses. Her mouth was open wide in a toothy grin, and I could see her red and blue braces gleaming in the hall light. "Claudia, give me a break," I groaned. "Stop scaring me all the time. It isn't that funny." "I know," she replied, tugging at a tangle in her thick black hair. "It's not funny. It's sad. You're no challenge, Jason. You're too easy to scare." "My name is Jason Sloves, and I'm your basic wimp." "Well, that's not exactly true." "You scream a lot too if you had an older sister who was always sneaking up behind you, leaping out of closets, putting ice-cold hands on the back of your neck, and doing everything she could to scare you." "Actually, I'm not a wimp. I'm a normal guy with a crazy sister." "You know the word demented? Look up in the dictionary, you'll see a picture of Claudia there." 2 years ago, when I was 10 and Claudia was 12, she found a dead rat in the basement. She tied a fishing line around its neck, hid it under my bed, and told me I had a rat living beneath my bed. When I peeked under the bed, she pulled the line and made the rat come scrambling toward me. I screamed a lot. Maybe I screamed more than most kids would, but that's demented, right? My best friend Fred agrees. He can't understand why Claudia is always flashing those red and blue braces at everyone, always snapping the rubber bands and clicking her teeth at people. "She's crazy. How else can you explain it?" "A few months ago, she sneaked into my room and hid strands of spaghetti under my covers. Of course, I screamed when I climbed into bed and felt them wriggling on my back. I thought they were snakes. Wouldn't you?" Demented, not to mention disturbed. Now she stood in the hallway, hands on her waist, tossing her black mop of hair from side to side as she grinned at me. "You lose, Jason. I knew you couldn't do it." "Couldn't do what?" I asked. "Claudia is always betting me this, betting me that. So many bets, but we keep track." "Yesterday, I bet that you couldn't pass by a mirror without looking into it," Claudia said. She pointed to the hall mirror behind me. "You lose." "I'm just checking my hair," I replied. I have thick black hair like Claudia's, and it's always messed up. It's like on springs or something, always bouncing. "You were admiring yourself as always," Claudia sneered. "You think you're so cool looking." "No, I don't," I protested. "I really don't. I hate my bouncy messed up hair, and I hate my round head and my big baby-faced cheeks that Mom can't help but pinch." Claudia picked up Buzzy, a little brown dog, and started to pet him. He's a tiny mutt, part terrier, part who knows what. He's very furry. In fact, his eyes are covered with fur. I have no idea what Buzzy sees. "You can't pass a mirror without checking yourself out," Claudia insisted. "Give me a break," I repeated. I don't want to argue with her. What's the point? She's demented. I turned and started up the stairs to my room. I thought maybe I'd call my friend Fred and see if he wanted to come over and play some video games, but Claudia wasn't finished with me. She followed me into my room, carrying Buzzy. "Beat it," I said. I tried to push her to the door, but she's bigger than me. "You have a baby room," she said. She flashed her red and blue grin again. "Beat it, Claudia." "I do have a baby room, but there's nothing I can do about it." I covered the walls with some really outstanding WWF posters, but they don't hide my light blue baby dresser and my little blue bed. "Why don't you just sleep in your old crib?" Claudia said. Then she tossed back her head and laughed as if she made a really funny joke. "Stop it, Claudia!" We both turned to find Mom in the doorway. She frowned at Claudia. "Why are you making fun of Jason?" Claudia shrugged. "Because he's a big baby?" "I am not!" I cried. I didn't mean to whine. It just came out that way. "You know why he still has some of his baby furniture," Mom told Claudia. "We can't afford new furniture, can we? You know your dad has been out of work for nearly a year." Claudia lowered her head and pretended to be sorry. "Yes, I know." She set Buzzy down. The little mutt scampered out of the room. He didn't like arguments or loud voices. "So why give Jason a hard time about his furniture?" Mom asked her. Claudia grinned. "Why not?" Mom sighed. "Claudia, I wish you tried to be nice to your brother. Okay, Mom, Claudia replied. No problem. I'll try. Mom made her way downstairs. Claudia pointed to the window. Look out! There's a hornet in the room! Huh? I cried. Where? Where? About 2 weeks later, Fred and I were tossing the football back and forth in the front yard. Well, actually, I was tossing it and Fred was chasing it. Fred isn't very good at sports. He's tall and lanky. Everyone else asked him if he was on the basketball team. But Fred couldn't run and dribble the ball if his life depended on it. Even when he's walking, he falls over his own Nikes. Fred has tiny bright blue eyes, blonde hair shaped like peach fuzz on his head, and a sort of crooked, goofy smile. He's a good guy. He's smart and a lot of fun. He's just not an athlete. It was after school on a cool Friday afternoon, and we were slipping and sliding on the falling leaves. I sent a long pass sailing toward the street. Fred took off after it, his skinny arms stretched out in front of him, hands reaching. Fred went down and slid across the grass on his belly to catch it. But of course, the ball bounced off his fingertips into the street. I wanted to shout, "How could you miss that one, you clumsy klutz?" But he's my best friend, so instead I called out, "Nice try." Then I turned to the house and saw Mom and Dad waving to me from the front door. "Jason, come check this out," Dad called. "Hurry, we have a surprise for you." And that's when all the trouble began.